Hello, welcome to Beach View, our podcast about all sorts of things and stuff.
Yes, and today we're doing another movie, this time 2005's Brick.
Yeah. So I had never heard of this film. I think it was big on the indie scene, am I right?
I guess. I know it because its director Rian Johnson, who later went on to do the Knives Out movies, which we watched one of for the podcast.
That's right. So, tell me your initial thoughts.
Yeah, so the premise of this is that it's a hard-boiled detective-style story combined with like a teen drama. So it's a bunch of like high schoolers getting up to like your hard-boiled detective antics, which is an interesting premise for the film.
Yeah, kind of like, I was thinking like Veronica Mars, but totally not like that.
I don't know much about Veronica Mars. Is that,
She's like a detective, like high schooler, I guess. I don't know, I could have that
okay.
wrong, but
Yeah, that sort of thing happens. I don't know how many are, like, doing this, where it's, like,
yeah,
going for the, like, noir style of, like, the...
definitely.
like, basically hitting the exact same beats as, you would see in, like, a guy in the, like, the brown trench coat and, like, a fedora.
Yes.
Going, like,
exactly what I was picturing. Yeah, exactly. Nailed it. Yeah. Definitely like a film noir style. Kind of interesting. Different concept for sure. Like I hadn't seen one like this before.
Yeah. Which, I really like this. I like the concept a lot. I think these two genres really complement each other. They both have these like very prescribed roles that characters fit into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in your teen drama you have your like cliques, and there's, you know, the members of the clique, like the jock, the drama kid, the like popular kids, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The burnout, the loner.
Yeah.
And this also has like, you know, kind of prescribed, you know, the this style of detective story, the noir, has these prescribed roles that characters play, and those like really meld well together. And I think also the like they can both be very heightened stories, very dramatic, and I think that complements each other, like both these genres.
That's a great point. And like yeah, something that I didn't think about until you just said it. Like yeah, they both types of genres have those prescribed characters, and I don't know, I really thought this was a cool concept. Like it's funny because it doesn't seem like a new concept, like putting two different genres together, but it was like, I mean, to me it was like I had not seen one like this before, like I said. So yeah, I think the style of it, and having like Rian Johnson, obviously, who I think actually wrote and directed it, right? I think I had seen that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so like having his particular style in it, like I thought that was kind of cool. And I thought it was cool, like a film from 2005, like I had not heard of before. So thought that was, always like to, watch new things, or new to me. It's not a new film, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to say though, I had some mixed feelings about this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. While I appreciated the style, I think, I don't know, I don't know why, but it's like I wanted to love it. And at first, like I was like, oh, I like this. But I didn't love it because, for one, and it's probably just my little, pea brain over here, I had trouble following it. Like, and I think it's because, okay, you know how I have like sensory issues with audio, It was a lot of like abrupt sounds, a lot of like fight scenes in there, and it was kind of distracting to me. Like, I truly think like the whole reason I had trouble following it was because like it was like I had the volume turned up because I couldn't like understand what they were saying. And then it would be this like loud. I know, I really do. And there was like this loud noise. And so then I would like turn the volume down. And I was like constantly turning the volume up and down. Like it truly was an auditory experience for me. And I think there's just my issues alone. But it was a little like, I don't like fight scenes because it's so like loud and like chaotic. Like, so I didn't like those parts of it. But I like the premise of the story. I like the way it was told. I like the actors, like, you know, playing their parts, but it just was a lot for me to handle, which I wasn't expecting that. Did you have that at all?
No. Like, I don't know, the fight
Just
scenes,
me.
like,
Just
they're
me.
not action scenes, they're not there for the action. They
Right.
do some camera tricks with it, but it's like, you know, necessary for this kind of story that you get, at least some fighting involved.
Even the, like I know, I'm thinking of one in particular where they're showing the scene and then the camera cuts quickly to like a different angle. Like that distracts me. Like I don't like that. Anything like, and like I said, I know it's just like my sensory issues, but like I feel like I would have liked it better if I wasn't being like distracted by those things, which wouldn't make the movie what it is. I totally understand that, but it was a difficult movie for me to get through. Like I wanted to see the end of, like, you know, I wanted to go through the story, and like I really liked the way it was told. I thought it was a cool style, but it just was hard. It was hard for me. I don't know. I just thought it was like, and you know, fully recognizing, like I said, it's my own like issues there, auditory processing issues, I guess. But I was just like, oh, like I really wanted to love this movie.
Yeah, I don't recall there being any, like, bad loud noises or, like,
Oh my
abrupt
gosh.
sounds or anything. Like, I don't
No,
know.
even like the okay, so I'm gonna give you one example. There are many examples in this for me. One example is when I don't remember the character's name, but they're like chasing. Oh, it was when the guy, like, I think when the guy like stabs him or tries to stab him,
Yeah.
and they're running, and the running is like very pronounced. The sound of their footfalls, I guess you would say, is very pronounced, and it's meant to be because it's like, you know, this drama, and it's like in stark contrast to the quiet school around them. Like it's meant to be that loud, but it's the running footsteps, like his and then the other guys, and then, you know, they show him like taking off his shoes real fast and like sliding to like trip the guy, like, so you don't hear his footfalls anymore, but the other one's really loud. Just the sound of those footsteps running was like very like, oh my gosh, I hate it. Like, and and like I said, that is all auditory problems. That's all me.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
But that's one example. Another example is like the dramatic, like, soundtrack. I guess I don't know what you call it. The dramatic, like, sounds, like that they're, you know, that's like making a suspenseful mood. Just the sounds of it was like hard. I feel like I sound like absolutely crazy when I'm saying this stuff, but it's real. It's real to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice anything like that at all, so.
Okay. Just me then. But I like the story. Like, I thought it was a good, like, very well played out. Like, the end, I was like, oh, I like this. I like how it all wrapped up at the end, you know? Like, so, I mean, I definitely, I'm not saying it was a bad movie at all. I thought it was really good, but I just couldn't, it was hard for me to get through.
Personally, I liked the beginning a lot, where it's like really hitting hard with this is both a teen drama and a like hard-boiled detective noir style film. I liked that a lot, but towards the end, where it just kind of like basically becomes a normal ass like gangster movie.
Yeah,
they have the big scene at the end where they're like, it's just huge crowds of people, like at the, you know, the gangs, and they're going to meet, and it devolves into a fight that like that. It just like sort of, I don't know, played that totally straight in a way that I was like, not really what I was here for.
I felt like I was like, this is like West Side Story type stuff at the end, you know, when the gangs, like, I don't know, it's just
West Side
like,
Story.
Yeah.
I was thinking like In the Wire, but sure, go with the musical.
I don't know why I was thinking the musical, but
it maybe would have been better if they started singing.
Yeah. They should have. It wouldn't have been out of place.
Oh, they did have that the drama club. It was a recurring, you know, kept coming up.
Yes. I don't know. I felt that was really funny too. Like how that character, I don't remember her name, had like her lapdog guy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really funny. Yeah. I had some interesting characters.
Yes.
I love the plot twist where, spoiler alert, they find out she was with child.
Yeah. I don't know that that's a plot twist. I think that's just a reveal in a, like, series of reveals because it's, he's tracking down the case trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah. I was just like, what? Oh, she's pregnant? Was pregnant? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really like the imagery of it, like, when she's like, laying there and he's sitting there watching. Like, I don't know, I like how they kind of zoomed in on some details, like her hand in the water with the bracelets. Like, I don't know, I like the imagery of that.
Very strong opening.
Yeah, and I also liked how, like, there wasn't like a soft opening of this movie. Like, it just got right into it.
Yeah.
Which I liked, but I was like immediately like trying to keep up. The language that they used.
Oh yeah, they had this weird slang.
Yes. Which that also was like a little bit of a I don't want to say struggle. It wasn't hard to follow, but I don't know why I had such a hard time like following this. I was like, what are they saying? Yeah, I don't know. I struggled. It could be like, been ill, so I'm having a little foggy brain, but...
Oh, yeah, that's probably part of it.
I was like, loud noises!
Yeah, I like that, like, nobody has cell phones. There's one cell phone in the whole movie.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're always going to payphones to call, like, in old, like, crime movies and stuff like that, or even more modern ones where, you don't want them tracing your calls, so they go to the payphone.
Yeah, I love that. I love that they went to payphones. It just made it more like, old gangster detective movie,
Yeah. I really like the Jock character, where both times he shows up, he's, like, complaining to a crowd of people about how Coach won't put him in the game, and he needs to do what needs to get done.
So when they first showed that scene, like, where they're at the party, the mysterious party, and he's saying that, I was like, is he like acting out a scene here? Is this like a theater party? And then I realized, like, no, he's like the quintessential jock.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but that was very funny, like how he said the whole thing again, basically.
Yeah, that actor did a really good job with that role.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was really funny. And the guy they called Brain,
yeah,
I thought he played a good role.
Also, I think it's funny that, the film's called Brick, after a brick of heroin. And it's like a plot point that they don't know what that is.
Yeah.
The main character and his sidekick, they're like, what could that refer to?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
and he has to, like, go and discover what the brick is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was very
really
funny. Because it's like inexperienced youth, like, but they're trying to be these hard-boiled detectives. Yeah. Thought that was really funny. There were some really comical things in this movie, which I appreciated. Like, the whole, like you're saying, these prescribed characters, like the drama queen, super dramatic. Like, I love those, like, prescribed roles. And just the fact that what I really liked was, the kid's kind of like a loner in a way, but like everybody knew him. Like, every time he would show up, they'd be like, oh, hey, Brendan. So I thought that was an interesting twist. Not twist, but just interesting character trait, I guess.
That one of the slang things I liked was that he was always saying, like, where people eat lunch or who they eat lunch with, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was funny. And when he gets called into, like, the vice principal's office and that conversation they have, which is, like, I think meant to mirror, like, in an actual, like, hardboiled detective movie where, like, the PI gets called in to talk to the cops.
Yeah, exactly. That was very funny. I was like, what is the principal, like, this mob boss or something? Yeah.
Also, there's, like, no parents in this movie except for that one, kid's mom. Or actually, I think that guy was, like, I think they mentioned he's, like, in his 20s.
Oh, really?
I think that, like, it's never confirmed, but, like, the first time he's introduced, there's this guy named the Pin. He's, like, 23 or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they never say whether or not he's, but, yeah, I think I think he's meant to be like an adult that still hangs out with high schoolers because he's selling drugs to them.
Yeah, and I like that you pointed out there's like no parents around except for that one. And I think that's like also one of the things with like teen dramas that people say like, where are these people's parents? It's like they have these whole lives like completely like they're acting like adults but they're like kids in high school.
Yeah.
And they have these whole like other lives that like you're thinking their parents know nothing about, and there's no parents to be seen. So that's really kind of funny.
Yeah. Alright, but I guess I'll get into a plot synopsis.
Yeah.
Alright, this might be difficult. I probably should have written something down, but I did not. So we open on a shot of our main character looking down at a girl in a drainage canal, like, laying face down in it. And then we cut back to 2 days earlier, where he gets a message to go to a certain intersection, and he gets a call on the payphone there, where he talks to her, and she seems like really worried. We find out that main character's name is Brendan, and that this is his ex, Emily, and she's in trouble with something. Mentions like a brick, some people's names, and she's like initially like seems to want help, but then she's like, no, never mind, and hangs up after like a car goes by that seems to freak her out. So he goes and tries to rustle up information by going to his friend the Brain, or just Brain, who's like his sidekick. He's kind of a nerdy
I like
kid.
That character.
Yeah.
He's like playing with a Rubik's Cube. Like it's just like very like.
Yeah, he's introduced with the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Alright, and he's like, he wants to figure out what's happening, so then he goes to Kara, who is like a head of the drama club, lead actress or something, and she seems to run things somehow. It's never clear what exactly she does, but...
No, and at first I was like, is this supposed to be like an adult? Like, because she just had that like air about her where like she ran the show, so to speak. And I'm like, no, I guess it's supposed to be a student, too.
Yeah, she definitely, like, runs things, but it's unclear, like, what exactly her deal is compared to other characters.
Exactly, yeah.
But,
right.
Yeah, I forget where the trail goes after that, or, like, what she says to him, but he then goes to,
well, he finds that invitation.
Yes, he goes and snoops around, and,
yeah.
Because first he checked her locker, Emily's locker, found a ripped invitation, then sees another copy of the invitation in Kara's dressing room, calls the number on it, brings up Emily's name, and gets an invite to the party. When he talks to her about it, Laura is the character who's hosting the party. She seems to be well connected with something or another.
Yeah.
Unclear as of yet.
Mystery.
But, she says you need to go to this pie shop.
Which was a funny name.
Yeah, I forget what the name of it was. It was like...
Something in pie, oh my.
Yes. And he meets the burnouts, the, like, weed-smoking skateboarder types behind the, pie shop. They're, like, hanging out.
I love those
like,
types of characters. Yeah. They're so funny. Yeah, and that they're hanging out behind the pie shop. Yep. Like, by the dumpsters was really, like, just such a stereotypical, like, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, meets a guy named Dode, who seems to be, Emily's current boyfriend. Beats information out of it that, like, initially she wanted to, talk to him, and then she's like, no, never mind, you'll just mess things up.
Yeah.
And Dode says that, look, she doesn't want your help anymore, stay out of it. After that ends up, tailing him, and he meets with Emily and hands her some note. And then later he meets with Emily, and they have this whole, to-do where, he had previously, she's been getting into some things, and he had previously, taken down the, kid she was getting into some things with, trying to, in his eyes, protect her, but she's like, no, I've gotta, do this thing, and also you're such a loner, and it's hard to, be with you, and you need to just let me go. I've got my own thing, you don't need to be involved in it. But of course he can't.
He did not listen.
No. Yeah. He pickpockets during this her notebook and sees the note. He asks Brain for information, and Like, because the note has, like, what looks like an A on it and a time, and he's like, Bren's like, nah, you need to just let it go, she said she doesn't want you involved, don't get involved.
Right.
And you said yourself you don't care, she just asked for help, so, she wants out, let her be. But he's still, like, worried about it. He, wakes up, like, in the middle of the night and realizes what it is. It was, like, a symbol for a, drainage, the, drainage pipe from earlier.
Which, how did he remember it? Like, I mean, how did he, like, know that? I don't know.
He put it together. He thought about it.
That little drawing, I would have never guessed that.
I don't know. He put it together, though. And he ends up going there, and she is laying face down, that shot from the beginning of the movie, and he decides he's gonna get involved. But not before first hiding the body, because he's like, I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna get the cops, or as he calls them, the bulls, involved.
Yeah, the bulls. Forgot about that.
Yeah, he goes to Braid and they formulate a plan. He's like, yeah, this is gonna get messy. So first he's like, what? He goes to Kara and he's like, what's going on? She's like, you don't want to know, something like that.
Yeah, like nobody's telling him stuff.
Right. And then he goes and picks a fight with Brad, who's Laura's boyfriend, and also he seems to be like, he's a popular jock kid. Seems to like have a handle on things. And he picks a fight with him, wins, and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to get whoever his supplier is attention. See the lay of the land. He does get their attention where this one guy just shows up and punches him. He has a conversation with the vice principal.
This dude getting beat up.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wins that first fight. He takes a few shots, but...
Yeah. But then, I'm like, you need to take a week off and, like, heal and then start this back up again.
Yeah, no, running through it, he gets a lot of, takes a lot of beatings.
Yeah.
She does that, then, I forget what he does in the meantime, but he eventually, like, finds, that guy who beat him up's car just randomly. And he, gets beat up by him, like, a bit more until he's like, hey, I want to meet, because he finds out, like, from Brain that there's this guy called the Kingpin, or the Pin for short, who's, like, running all the drugs, basically. He's, like, the big-time supplier. And he's like, okay, well, I gotta talk to this guy to find out what's going on.
Yeah. And how does Brain know this, by the way?
He just heard things, apparently. It's the talk around the school.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he's, trying to, meet the Pin. And so he happens upon, the guy who beat him up earlier's car, and he's like, hey, I want to see the Pin. And he gets, like, beat up multiple times, then eventually he agrees to take him there. And he has a conversation with the Pin, where he's like, he's like, first of all, I know where your address is, like, and then he gets beat up again, and he's like, I'm gonna offer my services to you, as part of, like, I want to work for you, because he wants to get close to him and figure out what exactly happened.
So he's, like, infiltrating.
Yeah. And the Pin's like, I'll let you know whether or not we want your services. If not, we'll, cut you loose or something. I forget what exactly he said, but he's basically like,
yeah,
we'll beat you up if otherwise.
Yeah.
So he does that. Some random guy attacks him with a knife.
Yeah.
But then he ends up getting the job with the Pin. He's trying to ask the Pin about, like, hey, what's been going on lately? And he's like, oh, he's evasive about it. He's not getting good information. So then later he breaks into the Pin's house, and he's like, okay, in the meantime, Laura's, like, she's connected with the Pin and his operation. She's, like, trying to, like, get him to work with her to find out about, like, the Emily stuff and whatnot, but, he's like, oh, I can't trust you, you've got a play of your own going and all this.
Yeah, they're all, like, interconnected.
Yeah, and also the guy who, beat him up is named Tug.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's, like, snooping around. He finds out what the brick is, which is a brick of heroin. But Tug's there and sees him, but then he's like, I wanted to see what was going on. The Pin's not telling me anything, and that seems to calm him down. And they have sort of a conversation until the Pin comes back. Like, he's trying to figure out what he knows. It's like, find out, they find out previously, but that, because she had mentioned something about a bad brick, Emily did in her initial call. They find out that, one of their guys ends up, like, taking part of the bad brick, and he dies from it. So they're upset about that, but also that, like, Emily's all, like, involved in this. We find out, the Pin's been buying bricks, and also Tug's like, yeah, it seems like he's massively expanding his operation, because, Tug's like, yeah, like, we used to, like, do small-time stuff, like, just selling to the school, but now we've been selling, like, everywhere in town.
Yeah.
And, like, we've had trouble moving it. We still have some of the bricks. Like, one of them went bad, and one of our guys, like, died from it. But he mentions Emily, and Tug, like, says, no, I don't know her. But then the Pin comes in, and he's like, yeah, we've been, moving the bricks. There's been some difficulties. Also, Emily's gone missing. And he's like, she was, Tug's ex, which he didn't want to mention at the time, so, it's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Then in the meantime, Dode has, realized that, Brendan hid Emily's body, and he thinks Brendan killed her.
Right, because that's suspicious. That's suspicious behavior.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to, forget what he says exactly, they have all their, like, specific slang things, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you sweat, I'm gonna, like, turn you in. Yeah. He's, like, doing this whole thing, which is, like, an issue for Brendan. Eventually, Dode is, like, calls up the Pin for a meeting. The Pin, Tug, Brendan, and Dode are all there in that, drainage pipe. And he's like, yeah, someone real close to you, knows something about, Emily. Like, yeah. I know who killed her, and he's like, but you've got to pay me for the information. Yeah, the Pin doesn't want to pay, and Tug's sitting there, like, really mad. And eventually, before he's like, is there someone really close to you, Tug gets mad and, shoots Dode, which, highly suspicious behavior. At this point, we maybe start to suspect, maybe he knows something about what happened.
Right.
And then, after that, Brendan, who's been coughing this whole time because of the beatings he's taken, passes out. Yeah. And he ends up at Tug's house, who's like, you've gotten the sense because of, like, he's like, oh yeah, Pin's not telling me anything, and the Pin's kind of, like, tired of Tug because he, like, just flies off the handle, starts doing things on his own, starts, like, beating people up, stuff like that. So, there's been maybe some division, but after this shot happens, it's like, there's a war now. They're, like, preparing to go to war with each other.
Right.
And he's also, like, he admits to, like, basically doing it to Emily. And, we find out now that, Emily was pregnant. Mm-hmm. And all three of the people involved here, Dode, Tug, and Brendan were all, like, involved with her. And that's part of, like, the deal is that, like, oh, this might be my kid. Yeah. Dode's upset because he thinks Brendan was, like, found out she had a kid and killed her because of it, because it was somebody else's kid.
Right.
And, that's why Tug killed her, because of the kid thing. But, so, yeah, they're, like, going to war.
This is the West Side Story stuff.
Yeah. But, yeah, then, Laura's involved here. She's, like, driving him around and stuff.
Popping up.
Yeah, and he's like, no, you need to rest. Brendan's like, okay, we, like, trying to talk to both sides to get them to come to an agreement. But, secretly, he's planning things so that it like, breaks bad for both, but without a war involved. Eventually, they set things up such that they do come to an agreement. Like, they're gonna meet, talk it out, see if they can work things out so that there's not a war. So first, he's, like, laying in bed, like, almost passed out there. There's actually quite a bit of stuff that happens here that doesn't end up really mattering. But,
well, I think that one, yeah, because Laura comes and is, like, talking to him and, like, snuggling with him. Basically.
Yeah, they have, like, a fade to black sex scene, except there's no sex. They just, like, kiss and lay on the bed together. Which I thought was a really funny, like,
a cigarette.
Yeah, I thought it was, like, a really funny teen movie detail, because they have, like, the fade to black scene after a kiss, but they're fully clothed the whole time.
Yeah, like, nothing's happening, but they make it seem like,
which I thought was really funny as, like, a teen movie thing.
It was funny, and then with her smoking the cigarette, I was, like, just rolling my eyes, like, oh my gosh, this is funny,
Yes, but that cigarette ends up being plot important, because he notices there's an arrow on it, and at the beginning of the movie, when he got the call from Emily, a car drove by, flicked out a cigarette, and that cigarette also had an arrow on it. So it's like, she's been involved the whole time, and that's what gets him to realize it. She's like, no, don't go to this thing. You need to not go to the peace deal. And he's like, no, I need to go to make sure everything works out all right.
Yeah.
But he realizes, like, oh, she's got stuff involved here. Like,
she doesn't want me to know.
Yeah. So, they go to the, he goes to the peace deal, but he sets it up so that, he goes with Tug's car ahead of time, and he like explains to Tug's like, I'm gonna like try to throw him off, so in case if they're they planning on doing anything, they do it to me, not you. But he gets Tug's car and then gets Emily's body and puts it in the trunk.
Just crazy.
Yeah, he tells Brain to call the cops at a certain time, and he's like, because I'm gonna be out of there by then. And his plan is basically have the peace deal go off, and then get them all arrested, or at least Tug arrested for the crime he did.
Right. So crazy that he like put her body in there. Like I was like, what? Tampering with evidence?
Yeah, but he goes to the peace deal, and they're like talking, and things get heated because at first they're like, you know what, like let's just let this thing drop. I'm not gonna like call the bulls on you for killing Dode. And he's like, and we're even on the whole like bricks thing. So let's just let bygones be bygones. We're not gonna do anything. And then he's like, okay, but one more thing. The ninth brick, as he says, that was the eighth one that came back bad. They still have the ninth one. He's like, did you do something to that one too? Because the eighth one came back bad, or did like Emily do something to that one? And he's like, let's shoot it up. Let's test it. If you die, then And he's like, are you accusing me of something? Like it starts to get heating at that point. Then they, his two like guys, like they're two guys who were in the room with him, go to get the brick, and the brick's not there. Which starts them all fighting.
Well, because he was like, I'll do it. I'll test it.
Right, yeah. Because he's like looking
crazy,
at his watch,
dude.
and he's like, yeah, well, I don't think he's actually going to do it. He's like looking at his watch, trying to get out of here. So
Right.
he's like, you're going to call the cops in a few minutes.
Right. The bulls.
Yeah. So they have that, they start fighting. Tug starts like beating the pin up. Because he's like, you're trying to mess with me, you stole the brick, and, they're accusing each other of things. Brendan ends up with the gun, Tug's gun, and he sits there and he's for a second, he could, like, shoot Tug to save the pin, but he slowly backs out and he, like, just drops the gun and runs.
Yeah.
And he gets out, he realizes, Laura's involved in all this, so he, like, the next day happens, he's talking to Brain, like, he has Brain surveiller, basically. And he's like, okay. He's like, she just went straight to school after, stayed the night at whoever's house they were at, and then went straight to school after. And then they meet in the football field, and he's like, yeah, I know what happened. And he basically explains it. So, Emily came to her or Brad or whoever, and he's like, she's like, I want to get involved. And, Laura sees this as an opportunity because she wants more of a cut of the pin's heroin deals. So she steals a brick and basically pins it on Emily, like, makes it seem like it's Emily's fault. The pin sends Tug to go speak to Emily, and she tells Tug that Emily's pregnant, she tells Emily to say that she's pregnant with his child.
Right.
Which ends up getting Tug to kill her, which, ties up a loose end. They think the whole bad brick thing was her fault. And she gets, sows division between the pin and Tug, keeps her name clear, and then, like, later as this war happens, that she's, like, engineered it, like, she stole the brick so that they would fight.
Yeah.
Part of why she tells Brendan not to go.
Evil plan.
He's like, yeah, but I already set you up, so that, because she's saying, no, I didn't do it, oh, it was all awful what happened, and Brendan's like, well, it's a good thing you didn't do that, because then there wouldn't be a brick in your locker, and I called, and when the principal who I called arrives there, he won't find anything. Cuts to, like, the principal finding the thing.
He basically, like, wrote a letter of everything that happened.
Yeah. And then she's like, well, I don't know if you realize this, but the baby was yours. She was 3 months pregnant, which would mean, and he had broken up with her a little over, like, 2 months ago. I forget the exact time. But it's like, basically, the baby was yours, etc.
Yeah.
And then, she walks off, basically, the end. Yeah, he figured out what happened, got dirty, and ends up, like, he takes down the person responsible, but also is, like, he's not happy about the situation either.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, how would he know, like, whose baby it was? Like, she could be lying.
Yeah.
She could be trying to get back at him.
Yeah.
One last little jab before she goes to jail.
Right, and another thing I did, like, because Brendan says that she set her up on purpose, like, to basically, like, sent her to Tug to get Tug to kill her.
Yeah.
But Laura says that no, like, she was supportive of Emily, and I don't know, like, who to believe there at the end.
But she did say she told Emily to tell him it was his baby.
Yeah. To
just,
soften him up.
To get...
Which did the opposite.
Yeah, to soften him up. Yeah. So, we don't know whether she's telling the truth about any of this.
Yeah. But she was definitely involved and, was definitely scheming to try to take down the Pin and Tug to, so she could take her cut of the business.
Right.
Also, I forgot to mention this, but Kara set Dode up and, basically engineered a situation where Dode would get shot. Exactly. Or end up with a bunch of money for selling out Tug, or Brendan, or whoever.
Yeah. I forgot about that part, yeah.
Dode thought Brendan was the one who killed Emily.
Right.
But yeah, she told him to go to the Pin with the information and try to get money for it, knowing that it would end up with,
So both, basically Laura and Kara, basically set up these guys, basically set up everything.
Right, which I don't...
put it that way.
I don't know, what her stake in all this is. It doesn't seem like she's selling drugs, but maybe she is.
Maybe she's just
a power broker.
In it for the drama. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, she also says something that implies she knew what happened the whole time and just, didn't say anything.
Which he kind of said that, not in so many words, but he kind of knew that she knew what happened the whole time, and she would not. That's why he got angry and threw stuff in her dressing room.
Right. Well, he's also angry because he sent that guy to die.
Yeah, and he's probably angry from getting beat up so many times, and that Emily's dead, and all this.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you need to just go home and process this stuff, man. Go take a nap, sleep it off, process. Yeah, I was like, this man has been through it.
Yeah, well-written mystery there, I think, and him unraveling it.
It was. It had, a lot of characters, and they all were kind of, intertwined in some kind of way. And, yeah, I think, some of the, comedic parts of it, there was still some little funny things here and there. And the fact that, again, these are, high school kids who are, operating at this, high-level drug gang, world.
Yeah.
And it's just, very funny to me, because you're like, where are these people's parents? The girl died. Where are her parents?
Don't know.
Let me just move her body out of the way. Nobody will see it. You know what I mean? It's just, absolutely crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about the end? Was she telling the truth? Was she not?
Yeah, well, I mean, she obviously, engineered something.
Yeah.
At the very least, she's the one who took the brick and, was trying to eliminate both the Pin and Tug, who both end up dying, so...
Yeah. So she's in it.
Yeah, but, what she exactly did with Emily is unsure.
Right.
So there's a little bit of room left for, because she, almost certainly was, stringing her along. But...
And these, high schoolers are, orchestrating people's deaths.
Yep.
It's just wild to me. Absolutely crazy. I think my favorite character was Brain.
I think mine was Brad, who's, barely a character in the movie, but I love his little, his monologues where he's like, Coach has gotta put me in the game.
Yes, that was very funny, actually. And, like you said, he did a good job with that. Yeah, I like the ending of it too, because it's kind of in a detective film where the detective's sitting there and wrapping it all up for everyone.
Yeah.
And you have the added drama that it's this girl that he kind of became involved with, and in a way and then Brain's the sidekick in the background.
Yeah.
And he's like, what did she whisper to you? And he's like, she called me a dirty woman.
Yeah, well...
He's it's fine if you don't want to tell me. Yeah.
You hear her say mother, but then, it cuts out the other part.
Yeah. And I love how Brain's it's alright, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. And it just, walks off. I don't know, I just thought the ending was cool.
Yeah, but, yeah, like I said, I thought the, part at the end where, they have this whole huge fight, and they're, lining up with, tons of guys for a war again, that felt a bit, too much played straight, gangster film style stuff that,
Yeah.
rather than the, like, high school drama mixed with your hard-boiled detective story that it had been up to that point.
Yeah. I also liked how Kara was basically like in a dressing room, in the theater,
Yeah.
like the whole time, every one of her scenes. But like she never was doing anything.
Well, she was getting ready.
Right, but like what are you doing? Are you just constantly in this like environment? Like it's just very funny that like, oh, let's go find Kara. Oh, she's definitely in the drama club section.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like just and her little sidekick lapdog is always there. The guy, they call her lapdog, and it's just like, yeah, she's just so very dramatic that I just like that's a funny character to me too.
Yeah, I thought she was a good character.
And all the funny names like Dode and Tug and Pin and all that. It just kind of added to like, and the slang they use, it just added to like the, kind of like detective drama.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also again like the one cell phone is like a flip phone and it's like Brain's mom's cell phone. So
yeah. He's like, sleep with the cell phone next to you. Keep it on. Just really funny because like now you don't ever turn your phone off.
No, yeah. Or like, well, now all these kids would have phones.
Yes, exactly.
Which, like, I don't know, I didn't go to high school in 2005. Didn't kids have phones in 2005?
Yes, everybody had phones by then, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this feels a bit like maybe set a bit before 2005 then.
Yes, yeah. It definitely feels, like you said, the payphones, like, we weren't still using payphones in 2005.
Oh, no. Well, that's part of the genre thing, because, back in, like, a 50s, like, detective film, they're going to the payphone.
Yes, exactly. Which I love that, which, maybe if it was like 90s, you could still get away with that. But yeah, that's what made it like, kind of added to that setting, that genre. But yeah, I love that like nobody's on their cell phones and there's only one.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. And they're still like slipping notes in lockers, telling them where to meet and all that kind of stuff. Like finding out where people's lockers are. Love that.
Yeah. But, yeah, good movie, I thought. Good premise.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it was good. I like the premise. I like the storytelling of it. I like the direction of it. But it was a little difficult for me, sensory-wise. But, yeah. Next time we watch a movie, I want you to notice all of the sounds.
Yes, well, movies do tend to have sounds in them. I don't put that much emphasis on them.
They do. I want you to notice how you think I would process these sounds.
Well, that's the thing. I never know. Like, I usually have a good ear for it in music.
Yeah.
But, with movies, it could be anything.
It's rough. It was rough, but, had it not been for that, like, I mean, and all of the auditory stuff was necessary for this storytelling, It had a function, but it was just hard for me. But it was good. I liked the ending. I liked it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I guess that's everything.
I think so.
Alright, I'll take us out. This has been Beach View. Thanks for listening and tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.